And then the fix is a system, not a mindset. It's courage and motivation. Pricing for the business you're building and not surviving. That is the mind shift that you get that whole aha. I often speak of the time when I charged $25 an hour and I started to do the math in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to work all these crazy hours. And that's when I was like, this is before any of the internet and Facebook groups. I started to try to figure out how I could charge a flat rate. And like all of the trades charge flat rates. I'm like, well, how do I bill that and figure that out? So that was me going from just surviving to thriving, right? Once you figure out the flat rate price and how many labor hours are in there, what production rates are, you're like, okay, well, I'm making this much money off this job. This is where the sweet spot is. And then you also have to separate self-worth from your pricing. Oftentimes, again, Jamie went through this. I went through it myself. I've walked thousands of people with the Pricing Blueprint Masterclass
Mm-hmm.
through it. It's you deserve to be paid top dollar. We work hard. If you're out in the field, you're still working hard. There is no sugarcoating it. It's physically demanding. It's hard on your job. A lot of people can't do this past 5 years. If you get a cleaning tech who works 10,
Yeah. Well, I also think that people think that they're an employee.
right? They have an
And then
employee mindset.
yes, so you don't realize that we have to pay for our lights to stay on. You got to pay for all those products. Um, an employee gets all those things to them because there's somebody above them that's paying for all the lights, the desk equipment, all the caddy. Like there's somebody out there that's paying. Exactly. It's an employee mindset and not an actual business owner because you do have to pay for all those expenses and you deserve to get paid.
The CEO mindset, I believe, was the last book I wrote. It's on Amazon. And then letting pricing filter clients. This is so valuable. Like it took me a long time to let my pricing filter clients. And what I'm talking about, and we're kind of lagging behind. This is my fault. Monthly clients. Monthly clients for us this year start at $225 to $250. That is the minimum charge that I start off any monthly client. And the reason for that is because that's how much that spot is worth on my schedule.
Yes.
And it filters out all the people who are $125 or $90 or $80 or $150 or $185. I need to hit the 250 mark, and it covers 3.5 hours of labor. And that's just I'm making $100 off every monthly cleaning just by default. The cleaning tech's making great money. They're only working 3.5 hours, and we do it on, they get a certain percentage of the job. I get my share of the job, and it ends up being a win-win. That's why I'm talking about letting pricing filter clients. And then it it takes out, and I don't want to say this in the mean or derogatory, but it takes out the bottom feeders. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but
No.
those clients are not as fluent in the cleaning industry as the rest of us, right? So they're still learning. They haven't caught up to the rest of us. And it does filter out a lot of people because that's your price. That your price to operate is so important. And make sure that you are making business decisions and not personal judgment. I know Jamie talked a lot about emotional, and every time I've made an emotional decision, it has cost me thousands.
You regret it. You do. You
It's
regret
hard.
it.
It's really hard.
And they're really hard to get rid of.
Right. And it's not really about being expensive. It's really about being sustainable. If you want to be in the game, like I said, I've been doing this 15 years. A lot of businesses don't make it past 5. So you want to make sure that you are not being expensive, that you really are being sustainable, that your business is going to be there. A legacy is what you're creating.